The Zephyrian High Command had been observing Earth for 3 solar cycles, their crystalline bodies humming with what could only be described as amusement. Commander Zixtal clicked his mandibles in what passed for laughter among his species as he reviewed the tactical data streaming across the holographic displays of their flagship. The inevitable. Look at these primitive creatures. Zixtal gestured to his subordinates with one of his 4 arms. They still use projectile weapons, chemical explosives. Their fastest vessels barely breach their own atmosphere without burning fossil fuels. The bridge erupted in harmonic vibrations, the Zephyrian equivalent of raucous laughter. Sub-Commander Velnara, her iridescent carapace shifting colors with skepticism, leaned forward. "Commander, our reconnaissance shows they've survived numerous global conflicts." "Perhaps." "Survived?" Zixtal's voice carried the metallic ring of dismissal. "They fight each other over resources while their planet dies around them. They have no unified defense, no energy shields, no quantum weaponry. When we begin the harvest, it will take merely days to subjugate their entire species." The Zephyrian fleet had conquered 17 worlds in the last century. Each civilization had fallen within weeks, some within days. The pattern was always the same: overwhelming technological superiority, systematic dismantling of communication networks, and the harvesting of organic matter for their biofuel reserves. Earth would be no different, or so they believed. The invasion began at dawn, Earth Standard Time. Massive vessels, each the size of a small city, descended through the cloud cover above major population centers. The humans' primitive aircraft fell from the sky like dying insects. Their missiles bounced harmlessly off Zephyrian energy shields. Within 6 hours, most of Earth's military infrastructure lay in ruins. Zixtal watched the feeds from his command throne, satisfied. The humans fled in panic, their cities burning under the precision strikes of plasma cannons. Everything was proceeding exactly as predicted. But then the reports started coming in. "Commander," Velnara's voice carried an unusual tremor. "Harvest Team 7 has gone silent." "Equipment malfunction," Zixtal dismissed. "Send a replacement team." Within an hour, Harvest Team 12 reported contact with a single human combatant before their transmission cut to static. By the end of the first day, 12 Harvest Teams had vanished without trace. The breakthrough came when Harvest Team 3 managed to transmit 37 seconds of combat footage before their signals died. The High Command watched in stunned silence as a lone figure in primitive camouflage moved through the ruins of what had once been Chicago. The human designation, Staff Sergeant Maria Santos, according to intercepted communications, appeared unremarkable by Zephyrian standards. Small, bipedal, lacking any visible natural weapons or armor. But what she lacked in physical advantages, she compensated for with something the Zephyrians had never encountered: pure, adaptive cunning. Santos didn't fight the way the Zephyrians had observed in their preliminary studies. She didn't charge forward with overwhelming force or retreat in organized formations. Instead, she moved like smoke through the urban debris, appearing where the aliens least expected, striking where they were weakest, then vanishing before they could respond. She used their own technology against them, reprogramming captured energy weapons with nothing more than salvaged electronics and intuitive understanding. She turned their predictable patrol patterns into death traps, using the city's infrastructure, sewers, subway tunnels, building foundations like an extension of her own body. But most disturbing to the Zephyrian mind was how she adapted. Each engagement taught her something new about their tactics, their technology, their psychology. By the third day, she was anticipating their moves before they made them. "How is this possible?" Zixtal demanded as another team reported casualties. "She's just one primitive biped." Velnara had been studying the combat data, her carapace flickering with deep concentration. "Commander," I believe we've made a fundamental error in our assessment. Explain. We've been evaluating humans based on their technology, their unified military capability, but we haven't considered their individual adaptability. She manipulated the holographic display, showing Santos's movement patterns. This human doesn't fight like our previous conquests. She doesn't rely on superior firepower, or the Zephyrians, for all their technological advancement, were not natural predators. They were collective intelligences, evolved from hive-minded herbivores, who had achieved dominance through cooperation and resource management. The concept of a solitary hunter, adapting and evolving tactics in real time, was outside their psychological framework. By the fifth day, Santos had somehow infiltrated one of their ground installations. The security footage showed her moving through corridors designed to be impregnable, past defenses that had protected Zephyrian assets on a dozen worlds. She planted improvised explosives with surgical precision, crippling their command center and escaping before the structure collapsed. But it wasn't just the physical damage that shook the High Command. It was the message she left behind, burned into the metal wall with a captured plasma torch. You picked the wrong planet. Word spread through the fleet like a plague. The humans had a defender, a guardian spirit made manifest. Reports became increasingly wild. She was everywhere at once, could walk through walls, could kill with her bare hands. Fear, an emotion the Zephyrians had not experienced in generations, began to take root. On the seventh day, Zixtal made his decision. Retreat, he commanded, his voice hollow with defeat. Commander? Velnara's carapace had gone completely pale. You heard me. Signal the fleet. Full withdrawal. But sir, it's just one human. One individual against our entire invasion force. Zixtal turned his compound eyes toward the tactical display, where a single red dot continued to move through the ruins of Earth cities, hunting his soldiers like a ghost made real. Precisely, he said quietly. If one human can do this to us, what happens when the rest of their species learns to fight like her? The Zephyrian fleet departed Earth's atmosphere that same day, their harvest incomplete, their reputation shattered. In the years that followed, they would speak of Earth only in whispers, warning other species of the Death World where a single warrior had turned the tide of an entire invasion. And on Earth, Staff Sergeant Maria Santos returned to her unit, filed her after-action report, and went home to her family, never knowing that she had become the stuff of legend across half the galaxy. The humans, it turned out, had been underestimated in the most dangerous possible way.